Welcome to Dr. Larry Live Weekly. I am Dr. Larry Burchett. My question for you today that I want to talk about, are you running your race or are you running somebody else's race? I'm going to give you an example of this today and why this really honed in on how important it is for you to be living your mission, your life, to your values, and essentially running your race, not somebody else's, and being your best. I did a high intensity workout with my trainer. My trainer is a professional bodybuilder. He's in incredible shape. He finished in the top whatever of the Mr. Olympia. I mean, the guy is an elite level athlete, right? Incredibly competitive. I had the week before done one of these CrossFit things at a bachelor party after having too much to drink, not sleeping enough, and not eating. And I felt horrible. I felt terrible that week before. I thought I was going to die. I had this dizziness, pain, I really wanted to die. I was like, I'm 40. I'm not a competitive athlete. This is not trying to make the high school football team. This is just for my health, well-being, and sanity. At this point in my life, this is my race, is to push myself to find that edge, to exercise consistently, to maintain a good weight, to have good function, where I'm not going so crazy that my shoulders hurt, my back hurts, and I'm getting hurt. You know what I mean? This is my race right now. I know what that is. So when I headed into this hour-long high-intensity workout with my elite trainer doing this thing together, I set myself and I said, my goal is to keep a decent pace and is to finish and is to not feel like death, not want to die at the end of this like I did last week. I just have no desire to go. I want to push myself. I want to get out of breath. I want it to be a good workout, but I don't want to puke and I don't want to die. That's too far. That was my race. Okay. Now let me tell you what happened. This is pretty interesting. So we did there were two parts to it, but I want to tell you about the second part where we did a circuit, 3 or 4 things in the circuit. The first one was jump rope. Then there were these, where you're just continually jump roping. And then the second part was wall balls. So you catch a medicine ball, squat, and throw it up in the wall, catch it. You do this again, all for a minute. And then the third one was burpees. And so I got doing it. And again, my thing is just to get in it. We did this for 30 minutes, 1 minute each station, and then you would rotate. And we all did each one together. So everybody's doing jump rope together, 1 minute. Then you go to wall ball. Everybody does that together. There were 4 guys. And everybody's on the same thing for 1 minute at a time. So I got going and I was like, okay, I'm going to find my rhythm. I'm not going to sprint in the beginning and run out of gas and be tired the whole time. I'm going to go at a moderate pace, find my rhythm that I can maintain every time. And what I found out worked for me was right when there was a bell that went off. So at the beginning, I would do, 5 wall balls or whatever it was. And then I would take a short break. And then I would, there was a little dinger at the 30-second mark, and I would do more, 5 or whatever I could. And then with 5 seconds left, I would stop and I would go to the next station. And I found that if I kept that pace, and if I did jump roping at whatever, that I knew after about 5 minutes, I was like, I can keep this up for 30 minutes. It's going to be hard. I'm going to have to get into that rhythm and just stick to it. But, after a couple minutes, I said, this is my goal. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to let them do their own thing. So in addition to my trainer, there was a D1 college football player who was half my age. I think he was 18. Again, I'm 40. And another guy who was in really good shape. So I'm like, look, this is not a competition. I refuse to engage this in a competition because if I do, my 40-year-old ass is going to end up as a puddle of barf on the side of of Gold's Gym. So we get going, and I realized, I was like, okay, this is going to be hard, but I'm going to be able to do this. I'm just going to keep my pace. And an interesting thing I noticed was my trainer is incredibly competitive. And he would push it really hard at the end of every 1 minute segment. And part of me almost took that bait. I almost bit into that because my competitive nature was like, oh, he's doing more wall balls than I am. He's doing more burpees. I want to do the most, that kind of competitive thing. And I was just like, no, let him go. Let him do his own thing. But I could tell, so he would go hard the last 5-10 seconds, and I would stop. I would take a break and I would walk to the next station so that when the bell rang, bam, I was down there starting the burpees or the jump rope, or I was the first one throwing up the wall ball. And I just liked that because it got me ahead, and it just helped me feel like I was getting ahead on that individual thing for myself. So, but it kind of drove him crazy because he would go hard at the end and the bell would ring, and then he would see me already jump roping or already doing burpees. And yeah, I didn't go hard like he did at the end. So of course I have a little more energy to get started, but his competitive drive, like, I could tell, like, mentally that got to him. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of liked messing with the guy a little bit, So in that kind of mind game, competitive whatever, and basically I just stood strong to this thing of, yo, I'm not gonna play your game. I've got my race, and I know what it is, and I'm gonna run it, and it's gonna be slower than yours. I'm not gonna do as much in the total. I'm sure he beat me, right? He did more wall balls, more burpees, and probably did more jumps on the jump rope. But I genuinely don't care. Good for him. I'm glad, I'm glad he got a great workout out of it. This is what I wanted to get out of it. And when that thing finished, I felt proud of myself that I was able to run my race and I hit my goal. I finished it. So the next time I do it, yeah, maybe I would go a little bit harder for myself. Maybe the last 5 minutes I would lay it on the line a little more so that I'm a little more exhausted at the end. But that's my race. I am not going to run his race because I'm not going to win his race. And I'm going to end up, screwing up mine. I think it's a great lesson. What race are you running? And really, whose race are you running? Are you running your own? Are you running somebody else's? Are you trying to be LeBron? Like, ain't nobody gonna be LeBron ever. Like, don't try to be that. You got to be you, whatever it is, with your particular talent, with your life, with your stage in life, with your responsibilities to family and kids and so forth. What is your race? Don't run somebody else's race. Like, clarify what yours is and what success means to you and what your goal is. And then you hit it or don't. And you continually try to be your best toward that goal, toward your particular race. I didn't care that he beat me at all. I finished mine, and, afterwards he kind of complimented me on my consistency and how he admitted that when he saw me that I would just kept going and I didn't take prolonged rests and whatever. Like, he kind of admired the the consistency and the pace, how I paced myself. Again, I didn't beat him. I didn't do more whatevers, but I ran to and stuck with my race. And that's really kind of helped me to, continue to clarify just what I said. What is my race? Letting go of comparison and competition. Like, life really isn't a competition. You take your blood pressure. Oh, my blood pressure is better than yours. How dumb is that? How meaningless is that? I think your health is more of an absolute thing where it's like, look, doesn't matter if it's better than anybody else's or not. Like, is it in a place where your blood pressure and your cholesterol and your blood sugar, your diabetes and your weight, are managed so that you can live the life you want and you can live as many years as you want? It doesn't matter about anybody else. It really doesn't. Those are my thoughts today. Thanks for checking this out. I wrote an article about it. Please check that out at the website. If you like this stuff, you can sign up for an email for more of it. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I will see you next week on Dr. Larry Live Weekly.